horribly overcasted yuck, but we still have to record this basic stuff. So if you have pain throughout your spine, this is how you heal. Okay, so from the front, we're going to be right shoulder width, toes pointed straight ahead. Stance number 2. Okay, first stance is both feet together. And you want to grab your staff if you have one, or just an imaginary one is fine if you're good with that. If you really need a staff, make sure you get one, because some of the postures you might need something to hold on to in order to get to them at first. So Tong is really about regaining the health of your youth. So the way you activate that is by making that whole spine relive, right? So you're going to bring it back to life. So in stance 1, we just learned about how each part was in alignment or out of alignment. And so this stance number 2 here is going to teach us about the basics of the crane and the snake. So the crane and the snake are the healing animals. We also do the crab. That's private lessons only. But these are the basic snake crane. Now, you want to picture your spine as the snake that doesn't function like a snake. And what you want to do is begin to move it in a way that is usually an ovular shape or a hoop, right? And this is where the ancient Polynesians created the hula, and the hoop is an ancient weapon, but it's also based on their principles of healing that they had kept from Shaolin. Shaolin, the ancient study, is only the 2 postures, 1 and 2, right? No other postures, although there are thousands that we teach and go through, but all things can be learned, like Wing Chun adapted from Suilum Dao, from the way of Shaolin, the way of peace, right? So you want to begin by standing, and a lot of people will call this Qigong, but you want to begin by not moving in this stance and being able to be relaxed, so that you're like on a boat, not pressed into the toes, so your feet are relaxed, your whole body is relaxed as if you're almost falling asleep. You're on a boat, and then that spear or staff would be either your oar, that you're going to go through these movements and make sure everything is just smooth as butter. And if you move and you notice, well, yeah, but there's no real fluidity between C7 and T11, and we're going to need to see a chiropractor. So the snake is really felt by relaxing. That's why sometimes it's taught in a drunken form or an inebriated state, because that way you can get into the relaxation a little more than you might not, and it helps with a little bit of the pain as you go through these healing processes. So the basics are going to be turn, right? And you want to do a full turn one direction maybe. And remember, the push that you do, we're not pushing into a pressure or a painful or a stretch. We're going until we just feel, oh, here comes resistance, people. Basically like the, uh-oh, why didn't that just work? Because I was just intending to turn. And that's when you get your whole body activated, it has so much more pressure to it. Some people will call it structure and you know, relaxation. When I'm actually not doing anything, I'm just being me, and you're the one that's getting, you know, whatever. So as you do that, you're gonna make sure your shoulders have snaky like movements. So a lot of times you'll move them and they'll be maybe some clicks or something. So this is fully the staff weapon. Let me grab it here. And I prefer my regular piece of wood here. Hand turned, I believe. Chop chop. So not turned, but literally it's just a piece of wood. Now, first of all, how you use this is you want to get a student who has back problems, or you want to teach them the back flip. And that's what the staff is for, to help you get to those more complex motions. So first, grab the staff, make sure you're comfortable with it. You can move it anywhere really that you want, and learn to depend on the weight of it. Use it like a mast in a boat, and the boat's twisting and turning. So don't be afraid to touch it to the ground, really. You know, you want to know, what's this thing really going to do? You know, and I use it to, like I'm climbing a tree, and I'm using it to increase the chi in my shoulders here. Just so nowhere is there a, you know, a place that's like locked up. That's how you get the staff here. So, and when you get the staff, you're gonna go through the motions, right? We're not gonna do a kata. We're gonna just grab it and use it as a tool, right? You stir. We're gonna use it all the time. It's our basic healing method. And what you just want to do, these basic twists or strikes as you might see them in the form. And as you get stronger, you know, you can bring the movements into a more complicated structure where you're handling the weapon a little easier, and instead of, but I don't move from this position. So you want to have this gondola kind of image where you're the gondola rider, or, you know, driver, and you're just doing the basics. Boom, boom. You can really, I mean, if nobody had a weapon and you just had this staff, you know, they'd be in really big trouble, because you can stand your ground safely, and that's why it's supposed to be no movement. It's just the staff or spear that moves. Now, here's the basic healing postures you also want to get to. As far out as you can here. Make sure you can reach to the edge. So you're really stretching out. Grab on. Imagine being pulled over. So this is all more like massage techniques. You're gonna go, you know, fly down here. Imagine you're doing maybe a shadow puppet play, or a lion dance, and you want all of your movements to be like the animal. So if you have any movements where you go, ooh, ah, oh, you want to get those postures, wherever they are, right shoulder right now, and wash right through them. All right, then you could be on American Ninja Warrior with me. Have rock. Hey, I'll see you guys later. That was probably too long.